This video is going to be about feedback. I'm going to try to go into a bunch of techniques involving feedback that I like to use to process sounds and attempt to give as much context as possible. Now you may notice a bit of a difference in how I'm talking. That's because I'm actually reading off of a pseudo script that I wrote. So maybe I'll be talking faster, maybe I'll be talking slower, who knows. So to start out, what is feedback? That's a great question. A lot of people might already know this, since this is like a sort of a sound design channel, and that's sort of a prerequisite. Figured I'd explain it anyway, because I don't want anybody to be going through thinking, oh, what the hell is this guy talking about, So, all right, anyways, feedback is essentially where you take any audio signal, delay that signal by some time, usually in milliseconds or in BPM, like subdivisions, and play it back onto itself. So, for example, here I have an echo. Echo is one of Ableton's time-based delay effects. It happens to be my favorite. And I'm going to turn up the feedback parameter, and you're going to listen to what happens. So if I just turn this track, move some stuff around. You hear my voice delayed as I turn up the feedback. It's going to sound increasingly like. All right. Let's make it a slower delay time. 300 milliseconds. And I'll turn the feedback. It's basically just how many repetitions of sound we're getting. Or not how many repetitions, but how quickly the volume is fading out for each repetition. So what if we mess around with some parameters while we're doing that? What if we set the feedback to 100%, like this, and then mess around with, say, the delay time? Let's see. English sound. It's like balls. All right, that's pretty cool. Now, what if we turn on repitch? So this is going to make it so that every single time it repeats, the pitch is going to be different depending on how we're changing the delay time, like this. All right, let's say something. 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 All right, let's try again. Maybe turn up. I'd say that's pretty cool. But that's just like sort of the basic surface level of what you can do using feedback and delay and stuff. So this next part of the video is going to detail a bunch of specific techniques and devices involving feedback that I like to use. So this first part is going to be pitch, or techniques that sort of move pitch around, do stuff involving the pitch or frequency of things. The first thing I want to detail is the phaser flanger. So let's search that up, phaser flanger. Right here. Now, something that I like to do with this on the phaser mode, you see all these vertical lines here? I can automate the number of those. So if I just drag in a drum sample, right, an almond break, why not? Oops. Let me turn that off. Then you're going to hear the phaser flanger doing stuff. But if I turn the feedback up, all right, that's getting somewhere. But if we turn the amount down and then automate the number of notches, it can get pretty cool. That gets even cooler when you automate other parameters. So if we automate the notches like that, say, and then we automate the center as well. You can get into increasingly interesting places with that. And obviously that sounded like ass because I didn't really do much. But you know, it's just something that you could use if you were using a more appropriate sound source. Like, let's see, what about my favorite Cashmere sample? Cashmere white noise. Mm-mm-mm. That's beautiful in my opinion. Then that's kind of like a chord. That sounds pretty nice. Or what if we move around the center, like just change a number of notches. What about blend with this red? I could do this shit for hours, but there you go. There's a phaser flanger, specifically the phaser part of phaser flanger. Next, we're gonna go over corpus feedback. Now, what's that? I'm gonna go over to this track over here in this obscene project I have. I think it's you. Yes, good. Sounds like this. Just a kick that I made, but we're gonna go into corpus here. Now, corpus is a resonator, physical modeling, which means that it's going to simulate what it sounds like to put the sound through a medium, essentially. So, for example, I play the marimba. Here, let's get some pictures of a marimba. All right, here, this is what a marimba looks like. Let's get a nice big picture of that. This is a marimba, and you see on the bottom of the marimba, there's these like tubes. This is a horrible image. Let me try to get a better one. There's these tubes on the bottom of the marimba. That's a better one, right? Let's see, new window. There we go. That's a good picture. But these tubes on the bottom of the marimba are resonators for the bars. The bars being the wooden things that go across the top of the marimba. And what the resonators do, they take the sound waves coming off of the bars and amplify them, because the length of the resonator is such that the time that it takes for the sound waves produced by the specific bar that the resonator is under is going to be amplified by the length of the resonator. I didn't explain that very well. Maybe I'll have to do a retake of that. So, how does this relate to corpus? So if I turn on corpus, or actually, if I just open up another one right here. This is making it sound like that kick sample is going through a resonator. And there's a bunch of different models. I have marimba here specifically, which is very nice. I can tune it. Can change the inharmonics. How bright it is to decay. The material. And a few other parameters for specific engines. But what I like doing, this one, here I'm using the string model, and I'm just automating the inharmonics, and it makes a really interesting motion that I like. Now, how does this relate to feedback? Well, let's do some analysis here. If I take just let's use Cashmere white noise. Once again, let's use this one instead of the other one. Use Cashmere white noise, and just like take a little tiny snippet of it, then feed that into corpus. Just use a slow decay time with normal inharmonics, like this. Now, what's that sound like to you? That sounds like an echo to me. Let's put on an echo and compare it. Right, turn down the reverb, turn down the filter and everything. Maybe turn this up. Sounds pretty similar, because it's practically the same thing. As I turn up the tune, it's just the only thing that changes is the decay time for this, which is the same with an echo, but you have to turn it down. Like that. Turn the feedback up, it's more obvious. Like that. So feedback in an echo and feedback in a corpus are very, very similar. The only difference is that the models use it in different ways. If I go to a beam, this is going to use a different sort of thing than the other models to simulate that. But whatever, that was a huge tangent. Next part. So this next part is going to be about grain delay, which I've definitely talked about before, but it's going to be using it in sort of a weird way. I've got this track here, which sounds like this. You might notice that there's a little itty-bitty bit of it that has some grain delay on it. And that's because, well, obviously, you're right. I am using grain delay. Why else would I be using this track as an example of grain delay? But if I turn that off, it sounds like this. So what's it doing there? What's like, because there's an obvious difference. It's just not really immediately apparent. I've got two parallel chains here. One of them has a grain delay on it that's turning the pitch up by 12 semitones or an octave, and the other one is turning it down by 12 semitones. And I'm automating the dry wet of both of them upwards. So here are the two automation tracks. Right, that's the lower pitch one. This is the higher pitch one. It's just adding that extra little bit of depth and movement to the sound that I always talk about. And I can even, oh no, what did I do? Did I fuck something up? Oh, fuck, what did I do? What I was going to say was if I take an OTT, I can amplify the effect with compression. It's going to be a bit loud, so maybe I should turn it down a bit. Right, do you hear that? What if I turn both of these up? That's what I'm automating up, right there. Hopefully that was a useful demonstration. I don't know, whatever. All right, there's one pitch thing, but another pitch thing that I like doing is with shifter right here. Shifter is a very good effect, but it has a little section down here in the bottom left corner that's often overlooked in my opinion. The delay section. So here, I should probably actually put this on a more percussive track. Let's see if I can find something real quick. So what's shifter doing right now is it's turning it up by 12 semitones. That's 24, 12, 0, negative 12, negative 24. It's just octaves. But if I turn up the delay, turn the feedback up, like that, and then turn it up by 1 semitone, you hear that? Let's put an OTT on it to amplify the effect once again. Do you hear how with each delay tap, the pitch increases by 1 semitone? If I change the delay time, then it'll do it faster. Yeah, if I slow it down. There we go. I can also automate it, obviously, as I can with many things. Which can produce some really interesting sounds. Now, you can change it to frequency shifting as well. So if I set it to shift up by like just say 172 hertz, you can get slightly different sounds out of that than aren't granular. I can even change it to this, or even lower. So, there's some stuff with each feedback loop. The frequency or pitch shifting increases or decreases by that factor. All right, so next I want to go over feedback and distortion, which can get very interesting. I'm going to not use any Ableton plugins for this because it's a bit of a hassle to set up. So I'm going to use one of my favorite plugins called Thermal. All right, here, let's see. What track should I put this on? I guess I'll put it on the kick again because it's just an easy percussive sound that I can use. This is Thermal. It's very good. You should buy it. I think it's $130. I'm not really sure, but it's good nonetheless. It's supposed to be a distortion plugin, but I like to use it for its feedback. So what the feedback here is doing, it's like a delay, obviously, but every single time that the delay goes back onto itself, the distortion is being reapplied once over. So if I turn the feedback up here, let's use a better sound for this. I want to just do that. There we go. Now what's interesting about this is that even though this sounds like a normal delay, you can make it sound really gross and like gnarly. Let's see if I can find something like that. So if I take this effect and put it on something more melodic, like a piano. Let's see, where's my piano track in this project? Here you are. Hello. Oh, don't lag out on me again. God fucking damn it. Make sure my microphone is recording. It is.
Very chilly.
Ah! Oh my god, finally. Okay. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, I was doing this. Okay. Or maybe turn it to a softer distortion type. I wouldn't say that's softer, but certainly isn't as harsh. So, get some pretty gnarly tones out of that. Next, let's see what's next. Hybrid reverb. All right, this one's exciting. I like this one. Oops, I just took a screenshot by accident. Hybrid reverb. Okay, so what's the deal with hybrid reverb? Hybrid reverb also has a feedback section right down here, and it is really cool because the pre-delay, when you automate the pre-delay, that acts as the delay time. So on this kick here, if you automate that, then it can act as a resonator, it can act as just a normal delay, it can act as like a glitch maker thing. I'm using it as all three of those on this track, but you know, it doesn't have to be all three. And I'll go into the automation for this. This is the massive automation thing from earlier. So this automation lane here is what is automating the pre-delay. When I automate it up, it glitches. Not really glitches. It makes cool, funny noises that I like. And that's probably why you're here. So there you go. There's a cool way to make glitches. But the reason that it sounds like this is because of the impulse response loaded inside of the hybrid reverb. So if I change the impulse response like this, it's going to sound slightly different for each IR, which I love because you can just slightly change the character. Oh, what the fuck is going on? Hello? Okay. What? Alright, that was really weird. But, yeah, you can slightly change the character of each repetition of the feedback by changing the IR, which you can't do with echo or normal delay, even though it has that weird glitchy behavior with the feedback. All right. Well, in my a little piece of paper here that I'm reading off of, I just have this noted as a lot of reverbs. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to skip over it. Under that, it says reverb size automation, which I do know what that means because it's right here in this little note that I made for myself. Sounds like this. I'm only using it once in this project, but I've used it in other places. When you automate the size of reverb, and you get this really weird pitch shifting effect. I'll try to reproduce it. That's a really horrible example. Let's just take the end of this almond break. Load a reverb onto it. Can't type at all. Okay. That's what it sounds like. Now for that to work, you need to make sure that the smooth is set to slow or fast. I like it on fast because the changes are more immediate, but you can also put it on slow. And then none. This gets just weird. So if we put it to fast, obviously put an OTT on it so that we can hear the effect that it's having a bit clearer, more clearly. So let's just do this. It's kind of like shepherd's tone. Maybe if we make the automation faster and turn the decay time down. Yeah, once again, I could do this for hours, but yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe so you can support me in future videos and future music that I'm making. Stream my music on SoundCloud and Spotify, everything, all that bullshit. Thanks for watching. Bye.